Hello people, it is me and I am back. Sorry, my hair is cray. I was in the shower, got out of the shower. I went out today, so yeah. Let's get into this review. Hold on one second. Got my controller here. I'm watching on my phone. Well, the movie, you all asked me on a comment, one of you, I forget your name, saying, can you do a movie review? Well, here is my first movie review. And this is a Netflix movie. Let me take a look real quick. It's not a Netflix original series, but it is on Netflix. And, well, this movie is Quiet LaClory, and you heard that in the background. And let me just... Sorry, you're hearing that in the background because that's the movie. But let me see if I can, like, real quick here, read it to you real quick. This is about the movie football coach. Hold on, I'm sorry guys, if you hear anything in the background, step out. I'm gonna mute it so you don't hear it. Sorry guys, you heard that in the background. This is about, it's a 1988 PG-13 film when high school football coach Charlie Wiedemeyer is diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. He perseveres in leading his team despite becoming disabled. I kid you not, this movie, I had to watch it twice to believe it. I had to watch it twice. Don't mind if I eat. I'm hungry. But what I got from this movie is that you can't... Well, my review is... Well, let's get into this spoilers for... That's spoilers, but let's just get into my thoughts. My thoughts of this Quiet LaClory was very... What do you say? Inspiring. About how a disease cannot control you or take away your dream. Despite being disabled, you could still do what you want to do. Like if you want to be a cop or whatever. This gets a good life message saying that you can do what you want to do. Do not let illness take you and take you down. Which was a very good part of this movie. Well, this movie is about this guy, Charlie Wiedemeyer. He had the American dream. He was like an all-star. He met his high school sweetheart. They went to college together, and they got married. They were both married in a traditional wedding. Hawaiian wedding, no joke. He was from Hawaii, so they moved to Los Gatos, where he became a math teacher. And then all of a sudden, you know, he became head coach of the Los Gatos High School Wildcats. And what he was doing was he was going through it and stuff, and he started having issues with his hand. And it was going on for months. So he went to the doctor. You know, his wife became a florist and all that with plants. And he started having these problems in his hand. And he went to the doctor thinking, hey, it's just old age. But no. Took him to the hospital, ran tests, and it took a while for a test to come back. The doctor was walking up to him and telling him, saying, hey, you got ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And he's like, wait, Lou Gehrig died? And he's like, yeah, you got Lou Gehrig's disease. And he's home, and he tells her, I'm not going to let this disease beat me. We're not going to quit. Don't let me quit. And she was upset about it. And he's like, when are we going to tell the kids? They never told the kids at all. So he's shaving, and his son walks in and sees him holding his hand because he can't even hold his hand. And he's still coaching, you know. Because the coach tells him, because I think the coach not the coach, but he's head coach. But I think the principal or something, I don't know who this guy was, says you could coach as long as you're able and as long as you're willing. He's like, okay. So they found out he has this disease, and they're eating dinner in a nice fancy restaurant. And he's trying to open the A1 steak sauce, and he can't open it. He's like this. So he gives it to his wife to open it, and the kids are like, what's going on? What's going on? They don't know what's going on. And he's trying to do things himself, but the disease is taking over his body and shit. And he's trying to do his best. So he spills A1 steak sauce on himself, which was very crazy. And then he tried to cut the steak, which he couldn't cut the steak. He couldn't chew too much. And so far, this disease is taking his life, where he could barely speak. He's been coaching for what, like 2.5 years, 3 years now? And this is all happening in the 1970s and 1980s. And he's still wanting to coach. He's like, I can coach, I am willing to coach. And he can't even barely speak. So he lost his teaching job right there, and his wife had to get a job as a broker because she needed to make the money so they can live, right? And they're trying to find ways to cope with this disease, which nothing is going to work, right? Like, this disease is taking over his life. But he's not going to let that happen. He tells them, I am willing to coach. Don't do this. So he keeps on coaching. And he ends up in the hospital because the disease starts cutting out his lungs and shit. And the disease is taking over him so bad where he can't do anything. Like, he's falling over. He can't swallow. It's just very bad for him. Like, Lou Gehrig's disease is no joke. And the movie comes along where he's still coaching and doing what he loves to do despite having this very life-threatening illness, Lou Gehrig's disease. And he goes throughout coaching saying, you got to do your dreams. He's teaching these players, like, you got to do your dream. You can't quit no matter what. Like, you have it within you not to quit. And what I thought about this movie was very heart-touching, telling you, if you have an illness or disability, don't let it control you. So he keeps coaching. He even coaches the All-Star games from the hospital because, they trach him and stuff like that. And now, all this. And meanwhile, people are telling the wife, you gotta leave him, you can't be like this. But she's like, I'm not quitting unless he quits because I gotta be by his side. Like, she's very loyal to him. And, they have to deal with him with this illness, but yet he still wants to do what he loves to do. They had a nice little party for him, which was very intelligent, with his daughter singing. And his son and all that was helping out, being nice and all this and this disease. And it's ALS, this disease that takes control where you can't do shit. So he's lipping everything because he can't talk. And his wife and the nurse have to be there talking for him through him because he can't speak. So he takes this team and he's like, I'm going to teach these boys. Nobody's going to teach these boys. I got to teach them. And he teaches them, and they go to the championship game or whatever like that in the end of the movie. And this movie was going on saying that you have a life, don't quit your dreams. Keep going no matter what life brings you. And that life brought him Lou Gehrig's disease, and he went on, and this movie shows that there's adversity. Adversity, like, you can't give up on your dreams no matter what. Like, you could go to college at 60. You could go here or that. Don't, anything, if not, don't take life for granted, don't take life for granted. Do what you want to do. Do your dreams no matter what, no matter your age, no matter health or anything like that. Do your dreams. Nobody could tell you no. And I like that because it teaches you, like, a life lesson. And I think if you're into this type of movie, this is based on a true story, please rate, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to support my content, my PayPal's in the description box below. And I appreciate you coming to see this movie review of Quiet Victory on Netflix. I know you will enjoy it. It's on Netflix. And right now, what can I say? This movie was heart-touching, and it taught you, like, a life lesson. And I think everybody should know that you should not quit your dreams, no matter what. And I'll see you next time on the next video. Please subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you will not miss a new video.